Hello my dear random scientists. As the title of the video suggests, today we'll try to answer one crucial and maybe even urgent question for you if you just Google this video. Should you take that pill and break your fever right away? Well, let's get into it. If you watched my previous video, you'll know I started it with a short little story about what made me make that video. So I'll do it again now. I'm sorry. I know you're probably irritated and cooking from inside out, but so am I, as you can maybe hear it in my voice. So don't worry, I'll be brief. So, I caught the flu yesterday probably, or whatever this damn thing is, this damn sickness. Let's hope it's not a famous illness that shan't be named, or maybe it is now allowed on YouTube to be named and to get monetized. Anyway, now about the medical research. It was COVID, coronavirus, the one that caused a major global pandemic. I just wanted to clarify that what I was referring to was COVID. Okay, I'm done with my pointless monologue and very bad jokes. So, first let's take a look on how fever works. Well, when there is a lot of inflammation in your body, your immune system releases chemicals that turn up to set points of your internal thermostat. This makes your body act in certain way to make itself warmer. For example, a fever causes chills or shivers because your body is trying to warm itself up, even though you're not actually cold. Over-the-counter fever reducers work by interrupting the chemical signals that connect inflammation in your body to your internal thermostat. No need to type how smart I am and how perfect my diction is. Now, after seeing all of this, you probably know how to get your temperature down and which medicines are best to use, unless if you're a dummy. But if you are, you're so lucky, man. I made a whole series of science and engineering videos just for you. But before you check it out, here is how to break a damn fever. The best and most popular way to break a fever is of course with medications. Medications that stop or break a fever are called antipyretics. Many are available over the counter without a prescription. Those with prescriptions are really rare, like indomethacin. I saw it in some article and they said that they can also lower temperature, that it's prescribed, but it's not usually used for breaking a fever. Makes me wonder what they are used for then. But okay, moving on. Usual over-the-counter medication that help break a fever are something like Tylenol, aspirin, paracetamol and something like that. But we also have some home remedies for bringing down a fever, but they are really not often recommended. So something like giving a sponge bath, taking a cool shower, removing warm clothing or blankets, rubbing alcohol on the skin. But as I said, cooling outside of the body isn't always a good idea, because while it might bring the measured temperature down slightly, surface area cooling doesn't affect the temperature deep inside the body, the core temperature. In fact, many studies show that this can cause the core temperature to rise even higher in response, which can feel quite unpleasant and make shivering worse. Now that we learned how to break the fever, here we are at the final and most important question of this video. Should you break a fever? So pay attention now. Well, it's natural to want your fever to go away as soon as possible, but treating a fever doesn't stop the infection that caused it. All it does is bringing your temperature down. And even so, you might want to break fever because a fever can make you feel extremely low. An extremely high fever can be dangerous and can cause organ damage. Although your body actually has pretty smart and good mechanism at stopping your fever crossing some 41 degrees Celsius, or a fever can cause heavy dehydration and some people can get a seizure from it. Oh, so it's settled then. Everybody should take over-the-counter fever breakers. But I know there's always a big but somewhere for you. Does fever have any benefits to you, and are there downsides for breaking it? I mean, surely it seems likely that fever have a biological reason for existing. After all, when we are fighting an infection, our body uses extra energy to heat itself up. Actually, about 15% greater calories per each degree of Celsius that your temperature rises up is spent by your body on achieving it. And this is true across many animal species. You may wonder why. Unfortunately, the scientists still wonder the same question as you and I. We don't have a full understanding, but here is what we learned so far. Some germs, including the virus that caused COVID-19, slow down their growth when the temperature around them rises. Our immune systems are more efficient where our body temperature is higher. A fever can weed out weak body cells, such as those damaged by infection, and it might lower the amount of the time you feel sick. Aside from these natural benefits, fevers are helpful from a practical standpoint because the pattern of fever can give clues about the illness that might be causing it. In other words, it can help you track whether infection is getting better or worse, and many of our modern antibiotics work better at warmer temperatures. So, in conclusion, should you break a fever? Unfortunately, answer is a big, fat, disappointing and generic it depends. On the one side, fever very well may be a necessary evil that helps you get better sooner. On the other, it can make your life pretty miserable and daily tasks almost impossible to perform without any obvious or scientifically proven benefits, as it's been doing to me for the last 8 hours. Right now, my head is pounding in terrible ache, my nose is sealed, and I notice I'm cooking from inside out and sweating excessively while I'm still extremely cold. As a cherry on top, I wasn't able to sleep for entire night. It's 6 AM right now while I'm making this video, after hours of googling and reading about fever and flu, getting more depressed and miserable every second. Okay, that's enough whining to satisfy me for today. Regarding fever breakers, it really is just your choice after you consider all information I've given you in this video. Just choose what you think will be best for you. As for me, I'm definitely getting those over the counters in few hours when they open the nearest local pharmacy. I hope this video was at least somewhat helpful and maybe interesting. If it was, leave a like and say something smart in the comments. And if any of you are currently sick and feverish, I totally get you and I hope you'll get better soon. Bye!